Okay guys, time for a new tutorial. Now, you know how to output some message uh, on the screen. How about outputting this message, let's say 8 times, then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it becomes quite tedious. You have to count how many times. Okay, forget about doing it this way. I'm going to talk about loops. Now, there are several types of loops. I'll start with the basic one. For usually people do several videos. I'm going to combine all loops into one video just to compare them. Select for and double tap, and now there are three parts here. Let me draw this. So here you have for. Then for expects three things. Oh, it expects the start. Usually it's integer, then it's good practice to call it I for iteration. Have some starting point. Then there needs to be some check in order for this loop to end. Let's say we have the number 5. I'll put this 5 times. So I less than 5. And with each step we need to increment this number. So these are the three basic things. And then we have the block of code, and we have something like console. And then right, and then we have our message. Now what happens here? We go once here, then we go here and check is I less than this number. So the first time it's 0, then it increments. It goes here and it increments. And then it checks, okay, is this condition met? If it's not, we repeat the whole cycle again. And it goes several times, like here, and then this is why it is called a loop, because it loops until this condition is, if I becomes equal to 5, then we break out of the loop. And let's do this. We have 5, and we can even output this number. Let's output I. Now you see it's 1, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we output this iterator 5 times. So we go here 5 times. Okay, well, why is this useful? Because maybe we have, okay, this is one way to use it, but maybe we have some array. Now let's use some array as an example. my numbers equals to 1, 2, 3. Just keep it simple. Okay, how to output these numbers? Well, the array has length. So we keep this as our boundary and we keep everything the same. How to output this? Well, we talked about the square brackets and that we can output the value at this position. Well, in this case we put I. So we saw like it goes and it outputs 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, in this case the length is 3. So this is the upper boundary, and we have okay, let me go and execute this. So we see 1, 2, 3. Let's debug this. Now we have my numbers, and what is I? It's 0 at this moment. So my numbers, and then we have 0, and then we have 1. Then we go one step further. Then now I is 1. Okay. Then it's 2. And that's the end, because there are 3 elements, 0, 1, and 2. Now, what if I say equals here? Then, okay, you need to be careful, because in this case, we'll get some error. Because now I is equal to 3, and then there is no such element, and we went over the limit. Now there is a shorter way to output these elements using for each, and then we have here my numbers, and then we have console, and then item. Same output, and here we don't worry about going over the boundary. But in this case it's harder to say. We have position 0, this is my element. We have position 1, then this is my value. So sometimes it might be useful to keep this. Maybe we want to display some extra information on the screen. Also, if we have some string, then we have some word, and then we have word. And then we can have this sorry, maybe I need to clean my solution, because it seems Visual Studio is somehow stuck. So we have word here, and we outputted the individual characters. But we can have like some for int for loop, and then output. Let's say my first character is this, my second character is this. If you imagine, okay, let's do this. Let's have this, and then we have word, and then we have length, and then we have word, then we have I, and then let's say a right line, and then we have this syntax, and then we have I, and then we have the word, and then we have the I, and then we have let's say +1, and then you know, I forget to put the semicolon at the end. And then, you know, you can have the positions, and maybe you can switch it around, but you know, this is our first character in the word, this is our second, and then maybe you want to know, you have some word with many characters, and you want to know which is the third, which is the fourth, which is the fifth. So it might be easier to use the for loop in this case. Okay, my time is running short, so there is the while loop, and here let's say output. Now you need to put some break, otherwise you'll see what happens. It goes on and on and on and on, and maybe it will crash at some point. If I put in break here, then we stop. Now, I haven't talked about reading input from the user, but maybe you can have something like variable input equals to console, and then read line, and then we have something like this, and then we combine it with an if, and then if our input let me spell this correctly, if input equals to end, then break, and we need to put in this. So imagine, you know, it asks us, okay, when do you want to end? I type in end, and I break in out of the program. Maybe we are guessing, you know, the computer is asking us, okay, guess my number, and you know, there is some predefined word or number, and it breaks. And just before my time runs out, there is also the do while. And what is it? It's basically the same as the while, but what is the difference? Well, we will always execute the statement in the do at least one time. So we want to make sure we have executed this statement at least once. That's the difference between while and do while. And yeah, that's basically it. These are the loops and how you can loop and how it could be useful. That's all for this video.